making money is the best way to shut somebody up. You know, they may talk shit, then you show them how much money you made, and they shut up. Hey Google, pause. Play that Mr.G shit. Yeah.
Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr.G, 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 he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Americana writer, got some education. I met him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, non IRL streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, non IRL streamer. Mr. G, he's your average teacher, non IRL. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, non IRL streamer. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G.
Screen elements. Set.
Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Americana writer, got no education. I met him while streaming on a Hawaiian vacation. Unworn white Levi's were covering his femur until he covered them with coffee and creamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. He's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, Mr. G, he's your average teacher, gone IRL streamer. Mr. G, 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 Mr. G.
Hi, Mr. G. Welcome to my class. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Actually, what do I care? Is there, how is everybody? Is Mrs. J here? Mrs. J, I apologize if I did. Sounds like a rainstorm. If I did or if I said anything to upset you in a Discord chat, a lot of times sarcasm, it's not understood as well in a Discord as it is in regular conversation. Hey Google, play Bach, please. So today we're going to be learning about the state of Michigan. Hey Google, volume 2. It feels a little weird because I think Mrs. J might be mad at me. I hope she's not. And she's basically a classroom assistant. So if you're new to this class, how this basically works, not basically, this is how it works. I need to stop talking with passive voice. How this works is I'll stand here and lecture about the state that we're learning about. Today, like I said, we're learning about Michigan. We've covered about over 40 states of the 50 states. Indiana and Florida will be the last part of the eastern United States, east of the Mississippi. And then west of the Mississippi, we've just done just about every state except for California, Texas, Oregon, and Washington, and Hawaii and Alaska. All states that I've lived in with the exception of Alaska. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're in luck. You're going to learn about Michigan. If you sit through this whole hour, at the end of the hour, boom, you know about Michigan. So guess what? Other than like playing a video game, not worth re-watching later. Driving in a car, not worth re-watching if it's not live. Walking down the street, interacting in a city, not worth re-watching unless it's live or unless something happens. This, however, this class is worth re-watching. You don't have to watch this live. You can watch this live, and then you can participate and interact. It's good if you're from Michigan. We've covered just about every freaking state. So obviously you're American. I guess there's like 10 people just staring at the screen like, right, you're from a state, right? What, we average 15 viewers? That means we've done 40 states. You know what I might do actually when I'm done with each state? I might start over and do each state again. Why? Because I can. Because I'm not doing this for you. I'm not doing this for the freaking lame ass fucking smug serial killer face ugly fucking other streamers. No, I'm not doing it for them. Those fucking fake bot using fucking fake donations, preloaded chat. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing this for me. You know why, guys? Because guess what? At the end of the day, in another week or two here, I'll have covered all 50 states. And guess what, guys? These 50 state videos, they're going to last longer than me. They may not have traction now, but once again, you don't have to watch these live. If you're learning about a state, which is actually pretty freaking common, you can learn about it easily in my class here. Too bad we don't have any classroom participation here. I guess Mrs. J's gone, and then there goes the classroom participation, right? Well, I'll remember that, just like I'll remember how Nessa's a member to Piss Boy. And that's the only time I'm going to mention that pedo's name. All right, continuing with the lesson. Hey, Google, turn it up. We're learning about the state of Michigan. And if you're watching, Nessa, never mind, I won't say something mean. I love you, Peaches. All right, so Michigan. It became a state in 1837. It was the 26th state. Population is about 9.9 million. That makes it one of the most populous states. It has 16 electoral votes. It usually always voted Democratic until recently, where it voted for Donald Trump. The state flower is the apple blossom. The state bird is the American robin. Aren't you an American robin? I'm okay, yeah. The state tree is the eastern white pine. Oh, I love you so much, more than an eastern white pine in Michigan. And the state animal is a white-tailed deer. The capital of Michigan is Lansing, Michigan. Population about 117,000. City, metro population about 464,000. So you hear a lot about Lansing, Michigan. It's known as L-Town. Oh, I like your breath. You got woody breath. Lansing, Michigan, so is L-Town. The largest city in the state of Michigan is Detroit, Michigan. It's also second in violent crime, only behind St. Louis. Can everybody hear me? I have a wireless microphone. I'm probably going to implement that just because I freaking can. Yes, I can. Wish we can. Hey, guess what, guys? How much did you make today? I made a decent amount doing nothing on the stock market. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to get some fucking action out of you guys. You hear that rain? Don't worry, I'll protect you from the rain. Alright, some of the top industries in the state of Michigan. YouTube, shout out to YouTube, alright? Because you guys are actually watching this. You're not just... I don't know what the deal with Twitch is. It's so fucking... Oh, there goes the first F word. Twitch is so lame when it comes... It's so clicky. It's so clicky. And the people they got in charge of the clicks are fucking toxic. They act like they're fucking woke innovators, but they're fucking toxic. Alright, some of the small businesses, industries in Michigan. One of the small businesses are very common in Michigan. There's more small businesses in Michigan than any other state. Also, fishing and hunting is very popular. They're also a large producer of milk. They're the 6th largest producer of milk in the United States. Cereal has always been popular in the state of Michigan. Oh, I just love my little boogie woogie woogie. I love you. Yes, I hate everybody else, but I love you. I'll protect you from the rain. Make sure you don't get any rain in you. I got which one for now? Okay, anyways. So, another large city in Detroit is Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids is a population of about 200,000. Metro area, 1.7 million. So, a lot of people live in that area. Detroit, I don't know if I mentioned, their population has dropped to only 600,000 city. But the metro area of Detroit is massive. It's 4.2 million. And that's because there's... I like your breath. Get some good breath. You got some good kitty breath. Oh, I love you a lot. Yeah, you. So, the metro area of Detroit is 4.2 million, one of the largest in the United States. Dearborn, Michigan is a very commonly mentioned area. The city population of Dearborn, Michigan is only 94,000. But the metro area of Dearborn, Michigan is the same as Detroit, 4.2 million. Also, Dearborn, Michigan has the highest Muslim population of any city in the United States. What, you didn't know that? I smell your breath. I smell it. Yes. If you're ever talking to somebody from Michigan, if you're ever talking to a Muslim from Michigan, you can tell them, doesn't Dearborn, Michigan have one of the largest Muslim populations in the United States? At least that's what I did when I was talking to somebody from Michigan, from the Dearborn, Michigan area, because they have a huge metro area, like I just explained. Some of the top agriculture in Michigan is dairy, corn, and soy. But we don't eat soy, we like milk. Yeah. All right, some inventions that came from the state of Michigan is penicillin, Teflon, silly putty, and the auto assembly line. Michigan was known for its auto assembly plants in Lansing, Michigan, the capital, and of course Detroit, Michigan. GM and Ford do still have their headquarters in Detroit, Michigan. However, they found it is much cheaper to actually build the cars, across the border in Ottawa. And speaking of Ottawa, Lake Ottawa is the only lake that Michigan doesn't have a border with. The other 4 Great Lakes, there's 5 Great Lakes if you're wondering. The other 4 Great Lakes, which is Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Erie, all share a border with the state of Michigan. Now I need to change the slide there, Shelly, but you're so cute, I don't want to put you down. You know? He's like, I know, I understand. I'm pretty cozy right here. Yep, she's pretty cozy. Oh, you got a bird? Burpees. Alright. You scared of the way?
No, I'm not scared of nothing.
Alright. Okay, so the largest school in Michigan is the University of Michigan. It's known as a public Ivy school. Public Ivy school, whoa. You may have heard me mention, because I graduated from a public Ivy League school. I graduated from the University of Texas in Austin. Both the University of Texas in Austin and the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, Michigan, are both two of the original public Ivy schools. A public Ivy school is a public institution that has an Ivy level education. So, the top universities in the United States, the ones that you always hear about, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, those are all Ivy League schools. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to go to an Ivy League school, but they want the same quality of education. There might be lots of reasons for that. Ivy League schools are inclusive. They can pick and determine who they want in and who they don't want in. So somebody like old Mr.G, I could score the highest grade on the test, but maybe somebody doesn't like my flavor. Now that's pretty common with me as well. So I didn't even bother going to a Ivy League school, or even bother applying, despite my 4.0 GPA. No, seriously. The only school I ever wanted to go to was the University of Texas in Austin. But, regardless of the fact, I didn't go to an Ivy League school, but I did go to a public Ivy League school. I went to the University of Texas. So, the University of Michigan, that's a Wolverine right there, they're known as the Wolverines, is considered a public Ivy League school. Now, continuing on with the great state of Michigan, I don't know why I have a cat on my back. Well, the University of Michigan, it used to be one of the largest student enrollments in the United States with about 50,000 students. They didn't catch on to online distance learning as well as other schools like Rutgers that we learned about recently. And so the University of Michigan, it only has 44,000 in-student learning right now. And that's compared to where it used to have at least 50,000 students. Ow, stop it. That's too much. You do not just claw on the back of my head there, bro. Go. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Peach, stop it. Why are you doing that? Because there's a string there? It's around my neck. Why are we doing this, Peach, anyways? I mean, I don't want to be mean, but like, ow, I'm trying to teach a class. There's no string there. Ow, Peach, why are we doing this? Peach, I'm trying to teach about Michigan. Stop it, that's it. I'm jumping down. Stop it, dude! Why are you doing this to me? This has gone too far. Come on, man. Stop it, dude! That's enough! That hurt me bad! Don't want you off of my back, man. Come on! This is bad. You can't just do this. I don't want to fling you off. You gotta fling me, I ain't leaving. Peaches. Oh, can you believe this, kitty? Ow! Stop it. Why are you doing this, man? God damn it, I don't like that. I don't like you hurting me. Look. You're not that light, you know? Okay, continuing with the lecture. The second largest school in the state of Michigan is Michigan State. Why? Stop it. That's it. I'm the human here. Peach. Why are you doing this to me, Peach? Look, I don't want to fling you off. If you bite my ear, I'm gonna fling you off. Peach. Peach. I'm trying to teach a class here. I don't know why you thought you could just sit on my back, and now you're not getting off. Yes, I love you too, Peach. Hey, that hurts. That hurts. That doesn't why. Just because you're on my back doesn't mean you can hurt me. What are you attacking my rump? Peaches. Peach, come on. I can see the chat moving. The free TTS must not be on. You were just so cute. I couldn't wear you off. That's okay. I hate you. Ow! Alright. Alright, stay on my back. See if I can. Oh, hey, Mrs. J, she is here.
MRG_live.
Hey, Adam Smith. Hey, Nico.
Hey.
Hey, countryman.
Nicotino3 said, "This is funny, lol." Mr._Nicotino3 said, "Peaches." Elite Soulfly said, LUL.
Peach is taking over the class, guys.
Said, "You will get off LUL. Countryman said, "It's literally a Mr. Bean's hit on."
Peach is taking over. Oh, it looks like she might be deciding to get off her. Peaches?
MRSJ the Mermaid said, "So silly."
Peaches, you almost done? Vagos. Peaches.
Mr._Nicotino3 said, "She claimed that spot." MRSJ the Mermaid said, "She a cheerleader on top of the pyramid."
Peach, we can't go like this forever.
Elite Soulfly said, "Damn, that looks a lot like my cat was Abigail von Bruenwald III." Elite Soulfly
Hey,
said,
Soulfly.
"We called her Abby for short."
So she refuses to just willingly get off my back.
MRSJ the Mermaid said, "I can't believe she's still there, haha." DJ_Stin_G said, "We clapped." Mr._Nicotino3 said, "Can you reach her?"
She bites me every time I reach her.
Elite Soulfly said, "She loves you."
Yeah, she does. This is all because I kissed her on the head. Kiss your pet on the head. Film their reaction. Alright, Peach, you gonna teach the class? You gotta jump on the chalkboard, Peach. No jumping on the chalkboard.
Elite Soulfly said, LUL.
How long? I mean, Peach, we at this. Like, ow! I don't want to fling you up. And you'll just.
Xboxer X1 SWE said, hi, you.
Any suggestions, Chad? PG.
Mr. Underscore Nicotino3 said,
Ow!
pet store we go.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
DJ underscore Sin underscore G
Why? Ow!
said, it's a cat back massage.
I don't like it.
Nicotino3 said, has this happened before?
No, this has never happened before. She's never jumped on my. She's
Ellie
just.
Soulfly said, OMG lol.
So,
MRSJ the mermaid said, can you not reach her to get to her off?
Whoa, Peach! Don't do that! Don't do that! Peach, you was not doing the joke right here. Come on, Peach.
Xboxer X1SWE said, Mr.G, an average teacher.
Thank you. Oh,
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lit. Getty 50.
Thank you.
OMG. Nightbot said, you can send Mr.G.
Oh, back.
Box 37305 Hawaii 96823. Stream elements. The new merch is in a pod. Check it out. HTTPS.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Adam Smith. Hey, Google. Volume 8.
Elite Soulfly.
Hey, Google.
Josh like, hey,
What is the price of AMC stock?
Said, Josh is gone.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Said, no.
Hey, Google. What's AMC stock selling at?
As of 7:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time today, AMC Entertainment Holdings is trading at $13.93 per share on NYSE after hours, down 0.78% from closing.
Hey, Google. Volume 2.
How did the stocks go today?
I made about $500. I made about $500. I made like $480. I made $480. No. Yeah, I made about
Xbox or
almost $500 up today.
Said, thanks at Stream Elements.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy stock in Stream Elements. All right. Today we're learning about the great state of Michigan, also pronounced Michiganado. Pizzas.
Xbox or X1SWE said, ha 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 ha.
No, I did have a good day, but stocks are up and down. Today was one of the best days I've ever had, though.
Wow, is that your best day yet? Congrats.
I think it's either my best day or second best day.
Help Mr. G with a donation through Stream Elements, HTTPS.
But yeah, you have to keep an eye on everything. You have to. I'm good at that kind of stuff, like analyzing graphs and predicting. That part of math of probability, I'm really good at as well. I'm also good at geography. So, continuing with our wonderful geography lesson here, put on the Smurf hat. Oh, this is actually a Dr. Seuss hat. Shout out to Dr. Seuss. All right, so I believe we're talking about the Great Lakes. There's 5 Great Lakes: Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. The one lake that does not touch Michigan is Lake Ontario, and the Canadian province of Ontario touches also 4 of the 5 Great Lakes. The one lake that the Canadian province Ontario doesn't touch is Lake Michigan, hence the name. So Michigan has their own lake, Lake Michigan, and Ontario has their own name, Lake Ontario. That's why they're named that.
Said, how's the water in Flint, Michigan?
Wow, I swear to God, I was just thinking that. While you were saying that, I'm like, next I'm going to talk about Flint, Michigan, because I have that nice ad. I mean, that nice little graphic. Dang, man, we're on the same wavelength, Nico. So Flint, Michigan, there was a very bad problem with the water. If you look on a map, every county in the United States, the vast majority of people drink tap water, with the exception of Flint, Michigan, where nobody drinks tap water. And according to Wikipedia, which is, the least bias that we're going to have right now. So today's class is going to be a little bit longer because we still have a lot to cover, and we got behind with the whole peach jumping on my back and everything. But according to Wikipedia, the Flint water crisis was a public health crisis that started in 2014 and lasted until 2019 after the drinking water for the city of Flint was contaminated with lead and possibly Legionella bacteria.
What day is the exam?
The exam, to be honest, since you bring that up, we've covered about 40 out of 50 states. Once we completed all 50 states, like I said, I do enjoy all of you coming here, and you do make the class work. But I do partially do this for me too. So maybe after the 50 states, maybe we'll have a short exam, and then I'll take a short break from offering these classes, so I can work on my second book as well. So that is a possibility. All right, so continuing on. Hell yeah, he's taking a break. All right, continuing on. Residents complained about the taste, smell, and appearance of the water. Flint changed its water source from Detroit water and sewage department water sourced from Lake Huron to the Flint River.
No, I meant about the exam, lol.
Oh, I know. I was just making a self-deprecating joke there. Good old self-deprecation. No, seriously. So the thing is about the Flint water crisis is it happened because they for generations they had been getting their water from Lake Huron, one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world. But to save money, they decided to start getting their water from the river, the Flint River, and that. Due to all of the manufacturing that went on to the area of Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan, the city population is 96,000 and the metro population is 400,000. You see that a lot in the state of Michigan. There's lots of, there's cities, and then there are smaller areas outside of the cities like suburbs. For example, Detroit has 600,000 people, but 4 million people live in the area around Detroit. And a lot of people that say they're from Detroit, Detroit proper, the city limits, is really bad. But as you get further out, it's not as bad. So, on January 5th, 1916, Governor Rick Snyder declared a state of emergency in the area of Flint in Genesee County. Between 6,000 and 12,000 children were exposed to drinking levels with high levels of lead. So like I said, there was lead found in the water, but also possibility. It's not, it's not proven according to Wikipedia, but lead was actually very, very common for generations.
Wow, that long ago.
The majority of houses, were used with lead paint. So that's why they say, if you have like an older house, then you want to make sure, you keep, or anything old, and like an old toy, even an antique wagon may have been used with red lead paint. Lead was very common, and it still is common. However, it's been proven to cause deficiencies in children, and that's a proven fact. So whatever the case, you want to keep lead away from kids. That's why on the first line of that article that I was reading for you guys, it said between 6,000 and 12,000 children were affected. So that's the number of kids that they determined had lead poisoning, up to 12,000. The number of adults they didn't even bother measuring. So that's Flint, Michigan. Another popular town. Hey, well, let's see what Google says. Hey Google, pause. Hey Google, volume 10. Hey Google, what happened with the water in Flint, Michigan? Hey Google, volume 9. Hey Google, what happened with the water in Flint, Michigan?
On the website Politico.com, they say, Flint, Michigan, in a city synonymous for half a decade with disaster, something remarkable happened in February 2019. A team of researchers reported that Flint's homes, even the ones at the highest risk for undrinkable, lead-poisoned tap water, finally had clean water running through their pipes. I found an answer to another question on that topic. Why does Flint still have bad water? Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
On the website climate-exchange.org, they say, Michigan was launched into the national spotlight in April 2014, when the city of Flint switched its water supply from the Detroit Water and Sewage Department to the Flint River. The lead from the pipes leached into the water supply and exposed thousands of people to toxic levels of lead.
Okay, well that told us a little bit more than Instagram. Well, it didn't really. It said thousands of people, but at least Instagram said 12,000 children. So yeah, you can't trust the media and you can't trust anything unless it's objective. And even then, you want to double check the numbers people give you. So that's my Instagram on the screen. Follow me on Instagram. So that's about Flint, Michigan. So another town that we're going to talk about in Michigan is Dearborn, Michigan. Why? Because I have a nice little graphic for it, similar to the Flint graphic. So, Dearborn, Michigan. Dearborn, Michigan, like I said, has a small city population, about 100,000 people. Then there are millions of people that live around the city center. Also, it has the highest number of Muslims of any other city in the United States. Hey Google, are there a lot of Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan?
According to Wikipedia, Dearborn is the 8th largest city in the state of Michigan. As of the 2010 census, it had a population of 98,153 and is home to the largest Muslim population in the United States per capita.
He knows. He knows.
Help Mr.G with a donation through Stream Elements, https://streamelements.com/mrg_live/tip. Getty 50 said, what?
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, the Nation of Islam, with being respectful, I'm not making any jokes or anything, they do have a strong family connection. And generally, people from other countries, large immigrant populations, they, tend to, live and conjugate around people that share the same religious beliefs and from the same country. And you see different pockets of, the Sudanese, immigrants in Minneapolis, and in Dearborn, Michigan, we have a lot of Pakistani and a lot of Afghanistan immigrants. And they, if you were from Afghanistan or you were from Pakistan and you moved to the United States and you had a little grasp on the language and the culture, it's probably a good idea to stay around, people that, you're comfortable with. Is the reason for that. Because they have a lot of mosques there. That's why all the Muslims go for the mosques. Some of the nicest, largest, most elaborate mosques in the United States are located in Dearborn, Michigan. All right, so we talked about Lansing, L-Town, a lot of auto manufacturers there. That's where Oldsmobile got its start.
City of Lakewood, New Jersey has the most Hasidic Jews in the country.
Oh, really?
Countryman.
I think I mentioned that.
It's a small fact, lol.
Okay, so up on the board, I switched the emblem. We have another, this gives you a better geographical idea of Michigan. Peach, do not go on the computer. Because I can go on your lap, I can go on anything. Well, careful, Peach. Peach, stop. All right. Don't do that! All right, so continuing on. Where were we? Muslims and the new map I put on the board. So as you can see, I'll put it up there pretty quickly there. This is Michigan in pink. And one interesting fact about Michigan is there's northern Michigan and southern Michigan. People in northern Michigan are called Yoopers. And they're known to be really country up there in northern Michigan. That's where Kid Rock is from. Also, that gives you an idea. the longest, one of the longest bridges in the world, and the longest suspension bridge in the world connects northern Michigan, which is up top there, and southern Michigan right there. So there's actually two different parts of Michigan, if you guys weren't aware. So isn't that interesting, huh? I'm still wearing the hat. So yeah, there's two parts of Michigan, and northern Michigan is connected to the bridge. I told you Michigan generally voted Democratic in every presidential election up until Donald Trump, and the city of Detroit, they do also tend to vote Democratic. Big surprise. But other places generally are very high Republican. The hunting and fishing are very popular in Michigan. Some of the top hunting and top fishing in the United States is located in Michigan. So far we've learned about L-Town, Lansing, Michigan, which is the capital. That's where Oldsmobile started as well. Detroit, Michigan, that's where Ford and Chevy is. It's Detroit's second in violent crime in the United States, only behind St. Louis.
On the top, that's where the big ship locks are at.
Oh, okay. Grand Rapids, Michigan has a population 200,000 city, 1.7 million metro. And Ann Arbor, Michigan. We didn't talk about Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'll show you a wonderful picture of Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's where the University of Michigan is. I haven't mentioned Michigan State either. I actually don't like Michigan State.
MRSJ the Mermaid said, mods can't cast vote in participants.
Hey.
Countryman said,
MERMAN76 is now following.
Said, they filmed RoboCop in Detroit, take NRG.
Oh, really? I'm not surprised. RoboCop is that's a perfect city for it. The auto assembly line was invented in Detroit.
Live, EGMR, Live, Moses, MRG Live, Keanu.
So yeah, if you subscribe, you get to use the emojis, the Moses and Keanu emojis. So we've talked about Flint, Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. Where is Detroit, Michigan? The viewer.
You're going to talk about the decline in Detroit.
Countryman. Nah, that's too slippery slope. We may mention it once or twice, but the food, I'm really looking forward to the food. I had a big breakfast. I made some French toast for breakfast. If you want to check that out, you can go to my regular YouTube channel. I made the awesome French toast this morning. But I'm very hungry now, and so once we go over the slideshow for foods, I was thinking about ordering a Detroit pizza right now. But they don't sell them anymore.
Ask Google about two locks. It's interesting. Man76 said, Detroit lines suck, but Ford Field is
I don't know what you got to be more specific, countryman. So locks. Hey Google, what is so locks?
On the website drugs.com, they say, in the U.S., Solox is a member of the drug class topical anti-infectives and is used to treat dermatological disorders.
Said, the big shipping locks in Sioux Street, Erie.
Oh.
MRSJ the Mermaid said, UL.
Okay, I still don't know. But what I do know is the University of Michigan, public Ivy school, has produced a lot of top people. The co-founder of Google, Larry Page, was a graduate of the University of Michigan. James Earl Jones, famous actor, graduate of Michigan. Rick Snyder, governor of Michigan before the current governor, Gretchen Wilson. Is that her last name, Gretchen Wilson? Michigan State has produced the likes of Michael Moore, James Caan, and Sam Raimi. Two really good quality schools. Michigan State is actually known as one of the public Ivy schools as well. However, like I said, University of Michigan as well as University of Texas, where I went to school and graduated from, that's one of the original public Ivy schools.
They both have great sport programs.
They do both have great sport programs, basketball, football, volleyball, lacrosse, even hockey. Hockey's very popular in Michigan. Unlike it's not very popular in Hawaii, surprisingly. So, with respects to the Native American tribes, I liked Ohio. We studied last week, and Ohio had the Native American tribes, the Shawnee, and the Ohio River Valley tribes that lived in the area for hundreds of years before settlers settled in Ohio. So in Michigan, you don't have the Ohio River Valley, but you have different tribes that were in the area of Michigan, including the Chippewa, the Ottawa, where the province of Ottawa gets its name, and the Potawatomi as well. And those were the tribes that were in the area of Michigan long before any settlers were there. Some more things about Michigan. They have 150 lighthouses, more than any other state in the United States. And they don't have an ocean, but they have 4 Great Lakes. And those lakes are some of the largest lakes in the world. Lake Superior, if I'm not mistaken, is the largest freshwater lake in the world.
Help Mr.G with a donation through Stream Elements.
It's either the largest or the second largest.
/streamelements.com/mrg_live/tip.
Hey Google.
Stream Elements said, the new lectures here PogChamp.
What's the largest freshwater lake in the world?
/merch.streamelements.com/mrg_.
The Caspian Sea, and the surface area is 143,244 square miles.
Caspian Sea is largest.
Okay, yeah, I just saw that right there. I'm right by the Caspian Sea. Okay, so, but it's one of the largest. It's, I guess, the second largest in the world. Freshwater. So, continuing on, Lake Erie is the smallest of the Great Lakes.
Lake Baikal is the deepest lake.
The shallowest of the Great Lakes is Lake Erie, and the smallest.
And also the oldest.
Oh, okay. An interesting fact of Lake Michigan, that's shares a water border between Wisconsin and Illinois. So, Michigan has a border with the Great Lakes, Ontario, Indiana, Ohio. Michigan and Ohio actually went to war over a boundary dispute as well. They also have a border with Wisconsin, and like I said, they have a water border with the great states of Illinois and Minnesota. They have a land border with Wisconsin, Indiana, and Ohio. So, all right, the flag of Michigan is a very nice flag. I'll point it out right here on the board there. It says E Pluribus Union, which is on the United States motto as well, and of course that's Latin for out of many one. E Pluribus Union.
RSJ the mermaid.
And then it says,
it's cool. I like the flag.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like it too. In the middle it says Tubor. Now Tubor means I will defend. Then it shows an image of a man on the Great Lake with a Aquarius Aloha. So it says Tubor, which means I will defend, and it has a moose and an elk. Virtual hug, Aquarius, thank you. It has a moose and an elk. If you notice, their ears are a little bit different. Then it has, the state bird. I mean, the bird of the United States, the bald eagle. Under the word tuber, you have the shield with a man on the Great Lakes. He's actually he's actually holding a rifle and making a peace sign.
Aquarius XX blue heart green heart.
And he's making a peace sign and holding a rifle. Their motto is one of the largest mottos in the United States.
RSJ, the mermaid. Hey guys.
So you can see at the bottom here the motto, Si Carius Pensaluum Amcium Circumspice. Let's ask Google. Hey Google, what is the state motto for Michigan?
Michigan's motto is Si Quoris Peninsulam Amoenam Circumspice.
What he said. Okay, up next we have Motown, which was founded, of course, in Michigan. And then we have the Michigan emblem right there. Like I said, the University of Michigan. It's right up there with the University of Texas and the University of Berkeley as probably the top 3 public institutions in the United States. Exactly. I should have mentioned the Temptations, the Supremes, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time go away. Motown is known for producing some of the very best
You can send Mr.G.
artists and girl groups
PO Box 37305
of that time period.
Hawaii 96823.
What's some more Motown artists, guys? Let me Google knows. Hey Google, what are some Motown artists?
Motown Records has released music for more than 60 artists. Here are the first 3: Berry Gordy, Temptations, and the Supremes.
The Temptations, the Supremes. The list goes on and on, which they only told us 3. All right, continuing on, we'll go ahead and start the slideshow in a minute. What I'll actually do is I'll stop the stream and then start it back up for the slideshow. So there's for whatever the powers that be, the people that are watching, they seem to want it that way because they'll stop it and then let me go again anyways. So, anything else?
If anyone ever has any appropriate prediction ideas, put them in chat.
That's good. So I mentioned we mentioned the motto of the state of Michigan. The nicknames of the state of Michigan is the Great Lakes State. It's the only state that touches 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, so it's known as the Great Lakes State. Also, it's known as Water Winter Wonderland. Like I said, it has more lighthouses than anywhere else in the United States. And there is a lot of water sports, water fishing, hunting, that kind of stuff. It's known for nature. I'll show you some great Michigan photographs. So you have a huge city in Detroit, which is huge in violent crime. And then you have a lot of nature and a lot of picturesque areas that have to do with freshwater lakes. So a lot of boating, skiing, all that fun stuff. It's also known as the Wolverine State. There used to be a substantial Wolverine population in Minnesota. That since has died down, and they're actually either on the endangered list, and almost they may possibly already be extinct as well. I'll show you a picture of a Michigan Wolverine. The University of Michigan, they're known as the Wolverines as well. So, all right, so I think that's it. Detroit, Michigan, shout out to Detroit. I guess he's not here. Detroit crime has actually gone down, but the reason for that is because so many people have left Detroit.
Crazy. I've never seen a Wolverine.
Okay, well, I'll show you a picture in a minute. Detroit, somebody mentioned the fall of the city. So back when car manufacturing happened in the United States, and Ford and Chevy were making a lot of cars, even in as near as the 90s. Ford stock in the 1990s, we were talking about the stock market. Ford stock right now is at $13, $14 a share. I think it was at like $30 or $40 a share, or $50, $60, maybe even higher. It was a lot higher in the 90s when they were the top car manufacturer, as well as GM. GM and Ford, they peaked, maybe you could say, at the 90s, and more people started buying foreign-made automobiles, and that you can argue all you want, but that has a lot to do with it as well. The population from Detroit, which is well over 1 million, went down to what it is today, 600,000. Also, there's so much violent crime in Detroit, you have a 1 in 45 chance of being a victim of violent crime. Go out 45 days. One of those days, it's going to be a bad day, So, I once, personal story, I was once working at a warehouse here in Hawaii.
Joe Biden is going to send all jobs out of Detroit. Don't buy Ford stocks.
Yeah. So, like I said, I just want to talk about the decline. So back when Ford and Chevy were doing really well, and they were the top employers in Detroit, Michigan, they were able to provide housing for a lot of their employees. A lot of them lived in Ford villages and GM villages where everybody there worked for the car manufacturers. And it was a decent place to raise kids, too. And a lot of famous people grew up there, as we'll see in the slideshow. I don't understand and people say they're making a comeback, but not from what I can see. I don't see the appeal, but hey, I don't see the appeal for a lot of reasons. I can tell you a personal story. I was working at a warehouse here in Hawaii about 5-6 years ago, and we had this new guy, and he was a Caucasian guy, and which was rare because I was the only other Caucasian in the entire warehouse, and there was like 100 people that worked there. So this guy comes and everyone's like, "Hey, G, you got a friend?" You know, I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, a friend." And so I start talking to him like, "Oh, where are you from?" He's like, "Oh, Detroit." I'm like, "Oh, you like Eminem?" He's like, "I guess so, you know." But we worked with each other for a few weeks, and I tried to make friends with him, you know, but he really didn't give me the time of day. He's just too much tough guy. Like, I'd be like, "Yeah, it's a lot better here than Detroit, right?" You know, he's like, blah, 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 like just trying to be tough. And he wanted some weed one day, and so I took him to my Hawaiian weed dealer, right? And I still think about this to this day, because in Hawaii, things are way more laid back than Detroit. Like, seriously. Like, the way that you buy marijuana in Detroit, I'm sure it's a lot different than it would be in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it's not really a big deal. You know, like, Britain used to smoke joints in front of cops. It's not even, like, really illegal or whatever. Back 5-6 years ago, maybe it was illegal in Michigan. But anyways, I took this Caucasian guy that worked at the warehouse from Detroit. He'd only been in Hawaii briefly because his wife was in the military, and she had left and he had stayed, so they're no longer together, and he's debating whether to go back to Detroit. And I'm like, "Oh, well, you never want to go there, right?" Hey, what's up? Hey, Peter Skunk. Thank you for the subscription, Peter. Thank you. Aloha. So I bring him to my Hawaiian weed dealer. Then, like, the way that he acted with the weed dealer, like, when I was with the Hawaiian weed dealer, I was like a bit humble, like when I first met him. And this, I don't go through this guy anymore. But he is a tough Hawaiian guy. But I'm like humble, but not like all like, hey, I'm a tough guy. Like, hey, what you got? Like, oh, you got an ounce for 400? I'll give you 300. like, or not the laugh, but like, I'll give you 3. You know, like. But then like it's more like laid back, humble. Like, you don't gotta be a tough guy just to buy some pot or whatever, you know. And first I was like, the guy was so off, like so mainland, like Detroit style, that like we drove to my Hawaiian friend's house. And first I was like, hey, I'll just go up and get it real quick. It's no big deal, you know, because I had a feeling he would try to like make it like into a thing or something. He's like, no, you're not gonna pull that one on me. You know, which was insulting, like, bro, I don't have to do this anyways, you know, like, I'm doing you a favor getting you weed, but, like, coming from Detroit, you know, I can understand, right? And so I'm like, okay, you can come and meet my dealer. And then so I take him with me up to the guy's house, and then he's so serious, and, like, the Detroit white guys, like, the Hawaiian guy comes out. I'm like, hey, what's up, right? What's up? And they're like, hey, what's up, G? Who's this? And I'm like, oh, this is my friend. He's from Detroit actually, and he just wants to buy some weed. No big deal. And then the Detroit guy's like, all right, I want to buy some weed, but I don't want any problems. I don't want any funny stuff. You know, he's got his legs like spread open and his like chest out, and I'm just like, oh, you know, like, like, yo, bro, we don't act like that here. It's not a big deal. Like, be humble, just. You know, but then like he's like, all right, I got the money, but I want to see the stuff first, you know. And then it's just like you know, yeah, you're not gonna get ripped off. Like, it's so dumb. Like, some people in the mainland, the culture there is just Detroit. So a white guy from Detroit, I'm not surprised that he acts this way. But like, it's just things are so much more laid back in Hawaii. So that's all I'm gonna say about that story. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for a second, and then we're going to start with the slideshow, all right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed my little talk about the state of Michigan. If you're from Michigan, leave a comment down below. Even if you're watching this in the future, wow, but you still learned something, right? You want to learn about Michigan? Shout out to Detroit, Michigan. Used to be a dedicated viewer, and he checked into the stream a little while ago. Shout out to Detroit, Michigan, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. I wish you the best and everything. We'll go ahead and start the presentation right now. So you guys might have to refresh your screens. I'm going to stop it here and then restart the presentation, the slideshow. All right. So like the video.